In this video, we are talking about the topic 614, overloading function. In C++, two or more functions may have the same name as long as their parameter lists are different. We call these functions as overloading functions. And also, this is the concept I relate with the polymorphism. So first, I want to show the brief types of the polymorphism in C++. In C++, we have two types of polymorphism. The first one is compile time and second one is runtime polymorphism. When we make the class design with the inheritance concept, we can implement the runtime polymorphism. Thus, I want to talk this topic when we learn the class hierarchy in chapter 15. And compile time polymorphism has the function overloading and operator overloading. And now let's take a look at function overloading examples. Here is the definition of function overloading. The function overloading is the functions that have the same name but different parameter lists. In this example, we have three functions with the same name, the print values, but they have the different parameter list. The first function has the integer parameter and second function has the double parameters. And also the function has two integer parameters. When we call the function print values, the compiler identifies which function is called based on the parameter list. For example, when we call the function print value with the integer parameter, the first print values will be called, and if we call with the two integer parameter, the third function will be invoked. Now let's get back to the previous slide. In this example, I want to make two division functions for the integer division and the floating values division. If I give the integer parameter, I want to have a calculation for integer division. If I give the floating values, I want to have a calculation for floating values. And now let's take a look at another example. In this example, I want to make two swap functions. The first one has two integer parameters and the second one has three integer parameters. When we have two parameters, just swap two values. When we have three integer parameters, just move shift right 1. Even though two functions have the same name, the functions can be identified by the parameter list. And now let's talk about another keyword, the function signature. The function signature is used to distinguish it from other functions with the same name. Function signature consists of the function name and the data types of parameters in the proper order. In this example, those two functions has the different parameter list, so it can be regarded as a function overloading. However, in this example, two functions have the same function name and same parameter list, but they have only different return type. The return type is not an element of function signature. Thus, the compiler identifies those two functions as the same function. Hence, this example makes an overloading error because it has the same function signature. And now it's time to have a programming lab to exercise the concept of overloading functions. In this programming lab, I want to make the three swap functions with different parameter lists. When we have two parameters, just to change the values each other. If we have three integers, just to change the value with the order minimum, medium, and max. And if we have four parameters, just to change the value like the circular shift right. Here is the main function to use in this programming lab. First, we will take one user integer value to use to select which function will be invoked. According to this selection, we choose the one case in switch statement. If the user choice was 2, we call the swap function with 2 initial parameters. Thus, we need to take 2 more user input to call the swap function. Similarly, according to the user input, we need to call the function getInput and swap with the different parameter lists. If the user choice is the number other than 2 or 3 or 4, this while loop will be terminated. And now let's make a team with 3 or 5 persons to have a lab. Discuss the details of program structure and share your opinions. And divide function work into each person to make the program cooperatively. If you finish your teamwork, share your complete program to all students. Now let's get started.